everybody, it's me, Jill, and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of Vanderpump Rules, Season 7, Episode 21, Rules of Engagement. Okay, this is the finale episode for Season 7, and half of me feels like we just started this season, and the other half feels like I have been recapping it for 2 years. When you go back to the very beginning, it was Pride Day and Kristen's friend was accusing James of sleeping with her for 3 years. I mean, we do have some callbacks to that in this episode, but that does seem like it was a long, long time ago. Also, I don't know about you, but I'm a little surprised that James has remained on the outs for this entire season. He called Katie fat at the very beginning of the season. He got fired, and Lisa has not hired him back. She did let him do brunch with Billy that one time, but then never again, and that was not even his fault. That was Lala losing her damn mind. I'm a little surprised, and it makes me curious for next season. What will James's role be if he is not part of this group? Thoughts for another time, I guess. Let's get into this last episode. The show opens up at the Inn of the Seventh Ray. Everything is all ready for the engagement party. It is the Enchanted Forest theme, and there is just enchantment all around. Jax and Brittany are there already, and I guess that they're going to be getting ready there. Meanwhile, everybody else is in their respective homes getting ready for this engagement party. Over at Kristen and Carter's apartment, we also have Lala and Scheana. They're getting ready with Kristen. Side note, Lala looks like a burglar. Do you guys notice that? She looks like she just came from a bank heist. Scheana is again talking about how Adam will not speak to her because he feels disrespected. Oh, boo-hoo, Adam. This is ridiculous. You never showed her any affection. She was always honest with you about what she wanted, and you couldn't commit. So, get over it. Anyway, this is when we learn that Adam's favorite thing in the whole world is penguins. So Scheana tells the girls that she found out that the aquarium will allow you to adopt a penguin. And Scheana has adopted a penguin in Adam's name. Kristen and Lala give each other a look, and Lala literally looks like she's going to be sick. Scheana. So, if he's still mad at me after I give him this penguin, we're done. Okay. I slept with another man, but I'm giving you this penguin. How can you be mad? We check in with Stassi and Beau at their apartment, and Stassi's plan is to not be a bitch at this party. She is going with a good attitude, and she's trying for the first time in her life, she is trying to make herself a better person. Over at Sandoval and Ariana's apartment, Ariana tells Tom that she is going to confront Lisa. She doesn't see why she can't talk to her. They've had an 8-year relationship. She says there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to have a respectful conversation with her. Sandoval's like, okay. And he's so scared. And he's like, well, what if you have a falling out? Then things could get very uncomfortable for everyone. Ariana said, well, if that happens, then it's only going to be one person's fault because I intend to be very respectful. Tom, okay. All right, now we check in with James and his therapist. Oh, boy, guys. James just had a couple beers. That's all. I didn't get drunk. The sad part is he told her he doesn't feel like he's as charismatic without drinking. Don't want to be that sober guy at the party. To the confession cam, he says that he does not think he's going to go cold turkey. And I'm pretty sure he hasn't. He's got it in his family. His mother is a hot mess. So, he may have to make the tough decision, but he thinks that, because he's an adult, he can make his own decisions. That's true, you're an adult, but you're also 26. You're still very young. I feel like there still could be a lot of life lessons ahead. Okay, now we're at the Grafton Hotel, and this is apparently the meeting place for everybody to get on the fun bus to go to the engagement party. I assume this is the hotel where Brittany's family is staying while they're in town. So everybody, Don, Brittany's dad, Mama, all Brittany's family, and her friends, and the Vanderpump Rules cast is all getting on this bus together. And Lala's like, is there a stripper pole? Oh, hell yes! Okay. Let's not forget Mama's on the bus. Anyway, they are all having a good time on the bus, and they're Snapchatting pictures. Brittany is seeing them while she's getting her makeup done. As I said before, she and Jax are already at the venue. So Brittany said, oh, everybody looks like they're having so much fun on the bus. Lala looks cute with her headband. Lala, I forgot to mention, is wearing a Gucci headband. She goes, Lala looks so cute in her headband. It's really on theme. I hope she understands that she couldn't be a bridesmaid. I mean, I couldn't have 20 bridesmaids. Are you sure you don't already have 20? I saw your little bridesmaid brunch the other day, and it looked like there was about 50 people there. Anyway, Jax tells her it's her wedding and that she shouldn't worry about anybody else. And if you need advice about being selfish, Jax is the one to go to. Side note, Adam is also on the bus, but he is not speaking to Scheana. And now we are at the inn of the seventh ray. Peter shows up. Peter took an Uber. I don't know why he wasn't on the bus with everybody. Side note, what is the deal with Peter? I know he's the manager, so it's a little bit different, but I feel like he's sort of the bridge between the cast members and say Guillermo and Diana. He isn't quite on Lisa's level, but he isn't quite a cast member either. Yet he gets invited to some of their parties. I don't know. He went to the puppy shower, for God's sake. I don't understand Peter's role. Also, it should be noted that we never see Peter again. He got out of that car. He went into the inn of the seventh ray. And we never saw him again. And this was the final episode of the season. Also, side note number 2, he doesn't even get to be at the reunion, but he does come out with shots at the end of the reunion. Peter has a weird role in all this. Anyway, everybody is there now. Lisa and Ken are also there. Don, Brittany's dad, approaches Lisa, and he wants to tell her that he appreciates that Lisa has been like a mother to Brittany. He said that when Brittany first moved out to LA, he was very worried about her and this boyfriend of hers. And it was Lisa taking her under her wing that comforted him, and she was like her mother away from home, and he just wanted to thank Lisa for that. And she's like, oh, don't make me cry. Side note, I don't want Lisa to cry either. She does this very creepy thing because she doesn't want to mess up her makeup. She takes a tissue and she I'm not going to do it because it creeps me out. She literally sticks it in her eye and blinks on it. It's creepy and nobody needs to see that. Anyway, Don asks her, do you think that Jax has really changed? Lisa said, having your daughter in his life has really made a difference. So yes, I think he really has. Wrong answer. Jax will never change. Brittany might be bringing out a better side to him, but eventually it's all going to wear off. He's not going to be able to keep drawing on the sympathy that he's getting from others for his dad passing, and it's going to start to frustrate him. He's going to keep trying to go to that same well. It's going to be dry, and he's going to get angry. I mean, let's face it, he's on the very edge of becoming that guy again anyway. I just hope it blows up before children are brought into the world. Now we see Brittany sitting at a table with Lala and telling her that she's not going to be a bridesmaid. It's a little awkward, but not on Lala's part. Lala does not make it awkward at all. I think Brittany is just telling her a little awkwardly. Lala's like, oh, boo-boo, you do you. That is fine. It's okay. You don't have to act like that, but of course you would because you're Brittany. You're so sweet. And she totally lets her off the hook. And then she hands her an envelope and said, this is my engagement present for you. Well, it's from me and Rand. And she opens it, and it's, I was a little confused on what it was exactly, to be honest with you. It appeared to be a trip to Cabo on a private jet. But I believe what Lala said was that they're renting a place in Cabo and she can come and stay anytime she wants, but I got the feeling it was with Lala. So, like, it wasn't just a trip that she and Jax could take together. Maybe Jax can come too, but it was like definitely Lala was going to be there. It's nice and they're friends, so that's fine. But it's weird to say, hey, for your anniversary, I'm buying you a trip to Cabo with me. You know? Is it just me or does that seem a little funny? Side note, Rand may want to lay off the PJ trips until he pays off 50 Cent. I'm kidding. Actually, he did pay him back. For those of you following that story, he did pay him back and 50 Cent has taken down all his posts now and stuff. So it's kind of a funny story though. And Rand, oh my God, you little baby. Please, Fofty. Anyway, I'm not going to go off on that rant here. Back to the show. Brittany now just feels incredibly guilty because she just told her she wasn't a bridesmaid. And to the confessional, Brittany goes, what could be worse than telling somebody that can't be your bridesmaid and then they offer you a trip of a lifetime? Ugh, now baby Adam is sitting in a corner all by himself. So Schwartz goes over to talk to him and Schwartz is like massaging his shoulders. And I'm thinking, you better back off, Schwartz. This guy's a little commitment shy. So he tells him, you know, boy, I can tell the tension with you and Scheana is so thick. You could cut it with a knife. Is everything okay? Adam, I asked her if she slept with him, and she said, yeah. Then, oh God, Tom's face. He's like, he's getting all twitchy. It is probably evoking some memories of his past with his lovely wife. He says, oh, I don't think it's a deal breaker. Now it's Adam's turn to look at him like, what? Schwartz in the confessional. I know that like with me and Katie, you just have to cave, you know? You just have to give in and make the commitment. I think he should commit to Scheana. And then he just starts cracking up so hard he can barely contain himself. Adam does go over to Scheana, who has been drinking pretty hard. And just like a contestant on The Bachelorette, he says, can I borrow you for a second? And they go and sit down. And Scheana said, you look handsome. I hope you guys are sitting down. Because Adam says, you look gorgeous. You always do. Who are you and what have you done with Adam? I've never heard him compliment her. Have you guys? Anyway, then he said, well, I don't know where to start. So Scheana, this is just a weird way to put this, but Scheana said, so for like the last 8 months, everybody's been telling me you guys are in love with each other. And you have feelings for each other. And I told you, and you said no. I think you're the one with feelings. Adam goes, I told you I'm not comfortable with it. And she goes, you said, I don't care if you get with someone. I just don't want to know who it is. And now we get the most emotion we've ever seen out of Adam. And he yells at her, I told you at the white party. We get a little flashback. And he did say at the white party, I wouldn't like it if you were with somebody else. But he also doesn't want to commit to her. So, too bad. Yeah, he's admitting he wouldn't like it, but all he's saying is, I want it both ways. I don't really want you, but I don't want anybody else to have you either. Well, sorry, that's not an option, Adam. You don't get to call that shot. Now I am going to be playing the parts of Scheana Marie and Adam. Do you love me? Stop it. I don't want to talk about this. Do you love me? Just answer the question. Do you love me? Answer the question. Answer the question. I just did. No. So you don't love me. Is that what you're saying? You don't love me? Do you love me? Stop it. Do you love me? But do you love me? You were just with another guy all weekend. Yeah, but I thought about you the whole time. Oh, thank you. That makes all the difference in the world. That makes me feel so much better. I'm so sorry that I did something that made you realize that you had feelings. But if I didn't, were you ever gonna speak up? No. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I should do it just to see what happens. And scene. Okay, so now he gets up. She's holding onto his arm for dear life. She won't let go. He needs to flee. He wants to get out of there so bad. In fact, it's making me wonder if maybe he does have some anxiety issues. I'm trying to cut him a little slack because he really looks like he needs to get out of there. And she is so clingy and needy, and she's so fearful that if he walks away, it's over, that she is holding him, literally hanging onto him. Finally, she gets him to hug her, and they're hugging, and he's like, I just need some air. I just need to walk away. Can I go now? And you see her shaking her head no. Finally, he breaks apart and he goes, I need to walk away. And he does. I don't think we talked to him the whole rest of the episode. Meanwhile, back at Sir, the B team is on duty because the A team is all at the engagement party. So the understudies get their big shot. Tonight, the part of Peter is being played by Monica. And she and the hostess, who is playing the part of Lala, are looking at the schedule for the evening, and they're looking at the reservations. And Monica sees James Kennedy has a reservation for 2. And she looks at it and she goes, James? He doesn't even work here anymore. Yeah, he has a reservation. He's not coming in to cover someone's shift, Monica. Which... wasn't that weird? Then we see James and Raquel walk in, and they're seated at their table, and Monica makes a point of telling them that they're short-staffed that evening and that she will also be their server. In the confession cam, James said, I know everybody is at Jackson Brittany's engagement party where everybody's gonna be all, ew, yes, you look so nice. You look nice too. What was that face? I would watch an hour-long show of just your confessionals, James Kennedy. Anyway, he goes on to say, did I really expect to be invited? No. Would I have gone if I had been? Obviously. But I'm not, so f*** it. Okay, so now at the table, James says to Raquel, hopefully we get invited to the wedding. And Raquel said, yeah, but in order to make that happen, you're gonna have to change your approach with everyone. So then he tells her, I'm having a good time, baby. Even if I'm not DJing, I'm so in love with you, and this is all I want. Yeah, love doesn't pay the bills. And what is Raquel doing for money? Does anybody know? Is she still picking up poo at Vanderpump Dogs? Anyway, so James is being all lovey-dovey, you're all I want, and Raquel said, I don't want to hear any more cheating accusations. And James is like, there's hope for me, I think. I have never cheated on you, and you'll never hear it anymore. As far as I know. And Raquel's logic is, well, now that we're living together, it will be harder to make up those stories because I'll be with you like every single day. And the look on James's face was a little bit like he had just been threatened. Now back at the engagement party, Kristen goes and sits down next to Scheana, who's crying. And Kristen's like, does he even know about the penguin chick? And Scheana goes, no. And then we get a close-up of the little picture. I mean, it is an adorable penguin chick, but I don't know that that's going to melt a guy's heart enough to forget that you slept with another man and hung out with him all weekend. Again, not saying that you shouldn't have, because it was totally within your right. Those of you that watched the episode know that I am glossing over the part where Scheana shared a little TMI about things that Ethan would do to her. And Adam will not. Yeah, it's not his thing. So I don't necessarily think she needs to fall at this guy's feet. Adam is not a prize. And maybe he's too young. You know what Scheana needs to do? Scheana needs to go the route of Lala. Get an old guy with money who will appreciate that you're hot. I mean, at least for a while, until you're not hot anymore. But that would be longer than any other relationship Scheana has had. I mean, it's a step in the right direction. Okay, now it is time for the Ariana-Lisa Vanderpump showdown that we've all been waiting for. Ariana and Sandoval are talking, and Lisa walks up to both of them, and Sandoval just like makes a beeline out of there. Like he's got something really important to do somewhere else, leaving Ariana alone with Lisa. So Ariana starts with, okay, so you know that I love and respect you very much. And Lisa's like, well, thank you, Ariana. But you said something in that article that Tom and Tom weren't working very hard. Yeah, because they were away. Ariana, I'm not going to lie, that bothered me a lot. Because I knew they had been working very hard, and they wouldn't have gone on that trip if you didn't suggest it. Lisa, you know what I like about them? I have a very playful relationship with them. Friendly banter. And Ariana goes, I know that, but like, I just think that when people read this article, they're thinking, oh, wow, they're a couple of idiots. Yeah. Pretty much. To be fair, that opinion is also formed by watching Vanderpump Rules. Just saying. Lisa goes, well, they're still young and they need to prove themselves to me. Ariana, I know, but Sandoval is the hardest working person I've ever met. I love that she realizes that she really can't be going to bat for Schwartz on this one. You know? Like, I don't think anybody has ever called Schwartz the hardest working person. Now Bravo does like the shadiest cut ever over to the Toms with this like bright pink beer bong. Ariana goes on to say, I just know how much this bar means to them, and I just don't want people thinking these are a couple of idiots you pulled out of the gutter. Lisa, it was a joke. Lighten up. Oh my God. Please tell me this is not going to be British Humor Gate Part 2. We got enough of that over with the Beverly Hills Housewives. In the confessional, Lisa said, look, I do tease the Toms, but because the Toms deserve to be teased. They don't actually have a serious persona. I mean, we're talking about Tom and Tom, not Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. It actually ends fine. Ariana ends up telling Lisa that she just hopes that one day that the Toms can earn the love and respect from her that they have for her. So they hug and it's all good. Now there's a little moment with Jax and the Toms, broing out. And in the confessional, Sandoval tells us how much Jax has changed and that when they first met him, all the lies he told when he first moved to LA. It just went on and on and on. It was a lot. I just don't know if I believe somebody who's capable of that can ever really just give it up. Old habits die hard. And I think that would be his go-to in the future, to just lie to get out of trouble, Back at Sir... we have to have this scene with Raquel and James because it's the season finale and they were not invited to the big party. So we're cutting back to them having dinner at Sir. And now James said, are we going to get married one day? And Raquel nods her head. And he said, I really love you. And I promise to continue to surprise you and keep you guessing in life. Okay, I had two immediate thoughts to this. One, I think she could do without your surprises, James. I got fired from Sir. Surprise! This girl says I've been sleeping with her for 3 years. Surprise! Maybe do a little less surprising. That will be something to try. And two, addressing his commitment to keep her guessing in life. I bet it wouldn't be too hard to keep Raquel guessing in life. I bet she guesses about a lot of things. Life is one big mystery to Raquel. Anyway, like I said, I had those immediate thoughts, but Raquel beat me to the first one because after he said, I'm going to continue to surprise you, she said, but in a good way. And he said, of course, in a good way. Then Monica gets all sassy and goes off script, brings the check to their table and says, you don't get the employee discount. Stick to your lines, Monica. I don't think Peter would have said that. Back at the engagement party, Lisa Vanderpump is scrolling through her big, giant, fuzzy phone, and she sees Bo? And he goes, oh, yeah, hi. And he comes and sits down, and she's like, where's the royal princess? And he said, oh, I was just looking for her. I got her a drink. I'm trying to find her. Then Lisa takes that opportunity to tell him that I have never, ever seen Stassi as happy as she is with you. I don't think anyone has ever validated her before. I can see that you love her a lot. And he said, I do. Lisa says, you're going to ask her to marry you, aren't you? And he said, I am. All right, grab your tissues, folks, because now Stassi joins the conversation. She's talking about how hurtful her mother's words were to her. And we get a little flashback to her mother telling her not to be herself around Bo so that she doesn't lose him, and that she's down here and Bo's up here. That's great, Mom. Way to instill confidence in your daughter. And Lisa said, I was just telling Bo he is lucky to have you. And I feel like Stassi is about to cry, and Lisa looks like she's about to cry, and it's emotional and sad, and it's very sweet because I want Stassi to be happy. I mean, she is. She's one of the few that like I follow on Instagram, and she and Bo are happy and together, and she's on her book tour and all that stuff. So her life is definitely going in the right direction. In Stassi's confessional, she said that everything Lisa is saying just reaffirms that Bo and I are on the right track. Lisa's been married for 31 years in a very healthy relationship, and you know, she's like, I mean, Lisa and Ken are relationship goals. I just want Bo to follow me around carrying one of my dogs. And then, of course, Bravo takes the opportunity to cut over to Ken, who is carrying Jiggy around. So funny. And now, looks like Scheana has glommed on to Mamaw. She's pretty drunk, and she's got, I don't know, what looks to be like a little bottle of essential oils, maybe? Maybe somebody gave her something to sniff to like calm her down. So she's got that in one hand, and she's got her arm slung around Mamaw with the other while she's just sobbing. Then we have Jax and Brittany. Okay, let me just say this. They don't need to have a wedding because they just had one. Now they're doing the cutting the cake ceremony. Is this really what engagement parties are like now? Just like a mini wedding? Because I don't like it. Especially with things like the cutting the cake and that Brittany's in a white dress. To me, I almost feel like it will somehow take away from the wedding. You've done all this in front of people. The wedding now is not going to seem that special. I don't know. I could be wrong, but this feels like too much. Now Stassi is talking to Brittany's dad, Don. Stassi says to him, how frickin' proud are you right now? And he smiles and he says, well, it's been a roller coaster ride. Brittany convincing us what a great guy she has. And I want to be on board 100%. I really do. This poor man, he is trying so hard to get anybody here to say, you're not crazy. Jax is not a good guy. You have every right to be worried for your daughter. You know, he feels it. He knows it in his gut. But his daughter is an adult. He can't force her not to marry him. And he wants her to be happy. And he wants the best for her. But I think with, you know, he can see more clearly than she can. And it's killing him. And I feel terrible for him. I think this guy just is looking for validation from anybody out here in California in this crazy place where he feels like he's in the Twilight Zone. So every time he has a conversation with somebody, I think he's waiting to hear, you know, yeah, I don't blame you, sir, because I know Jax and this isn't going to last, you know, something. I mean, what Stassi does say is, oh, you sound like my dad. And you know what? We just have to kind of go with it. or we're going to drive ourselves crazy. Stassi was kind of the voice of reason because that's true. They just have to go with it. It isn't their decision. She goes on to say, as long as we see Brittany happy, that's all that matters. And Don said, that will be more comforting if I heard those exact same words you just said come out of Jax's mouth. And of course, Bravo gives us the flashback to when Jax said, I have to take care of this guy first. I'm always going to be number one, right in front of his father-in-law and brothers-in-law to be. So if he's not afraid to say it in front of you guys, what must he say when you aren't around? And I'm sure that's a helpless feeling for a dad. Stassi does comfort him by saying, I'm pretty sure that we will all crucify him if he ever messes up again. And then, she goes too far because she's Stassi. And she said, I feel like I will find some stakes, light them on fire, and shove them up his ass. I mean, it actually does get a chuckle out of Don, so good job, Stassi. Your work here is done. Lisa gives a speech, and in it she warns Jax that he better not mess with her Kentucky muffin. And in the confession cam, Lisa tells us that Ken was also a leopard. So if there was hope for Ken Todd, maybe there's hope for Jax Taylor. Anyway, Brittany now also gives a speech, and basically her speech is telling everybody, I'm super happy right now, I'm gonna marry him, and there's nothing y'all can do about it. So stop reminding me that he cheated on me, basically. Then just before Lisa and Ken decide to leave for the evening, the Toms grab her and they make her drink from that stupid pink beer bong that they had bedazzled with her initials. And that is why they are always the butt of her jokes, Ariana. In case you were wondering. And that is where season 7 comes to an end. But the reunion looks action-packed, y'all. So I'll be back next week for that. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I wasn't sure I was going to even recap Vanderpump Rules. It was fun for me. It really was. And I thank you for coming along on this journey with me. I especially thank those of you who don't watch Vanderpump Rules, who only watch The Housewives, and you still came along on the journey with me. I appreciate you taking that leap of faith with me. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I will be right back here next Monday at 1 p.m. Central Time for the reunion part 1 of Vanderpump Rules. I hope I see you there. Bye.